Hello everybody, my name is Kieran and welcome to another episode of my RuneScape Slayer Guide series. Today we're going to be talking about spiritual warriors, so let's get right into it. So, a spiritual warrior has 115 combat level and is found in the God Wars dungeon. When you kill one, you'll get 110 Slayer experience because you have to be on task, 147 hit points experience, and 440 combat experience in whichever you're using, for example, strength, defense, and attack. They use melee, but which isn't very strong, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And as for requirements and recommendations for this task, I'd recommend having 70 plus combat skills. You need 68 Slayer to get a task for them, and also a Zamorak item is going to be really good because we are going to be killing these guys in the Zamorak area of the God Wars dungeon, because I think that that's the best way to do it. There are several other ways to do it which I'll talk about, but I think going to the Zamorak area is the best and probably the most efficient way of getting your combat experience and Slayer experience. Okay, so let's have a look at my armor setup and my inventory. So first look at my armor. I'm going to be attacking it with melee. I think that's definitely the best way to go about that. This is my probably my best melee armor. It's not too good, but whatever you can get. So for example, an Amulet of Fury would be best. Slayer helm if you can get one. If you're on a Slayer task, that'd be great, and then things like Barrow Skulls would be good as well. One thing you do need, however, is to be wearing a Zamorak item. Now, I'd recommend wearing the Zamorak cape. Because if you wear something like an unholy symbol or something, you're losing really good stats from things like an Amulet of Glory and a Fury. Whereas if you wear a Zamorak cape, you're not really losing too much, unless you have a fire cape which has decent stats. But again, you're not losing too much, and I think a Zamorak cape is probably one of the best things to use. That's just my preference anyway. You could wear, if you don't have Barrows gloves, you could wear some like Zamorak van braces or something like that. That might be a good idea. But if you have Barrows gloves and you have things like I do, I just recommend using the Zami cape. So if you look at my inventory, I've got these 3 potions which are important. I've got my attack and strength potions, which are pretty standard. That's just to optimize your combat experience. You've also got super restore. You only need a couple of doses, but I highly recommend that, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm bringing some fire runes and some nature runes for alching, because these guys drop a lot of alchable drops. They drop a lot of mithril, adamant, and rune, and you can pretty much alch them for the same price you'd sell them on the Grand Exchange, or for example like rune longswords, rune halberds, things like that. They pretty much alch for the same GE costs anyway, so you may as well alch them, provided you have 55 magic. We also have some food over here. Now you can prayer flick these. I'll show you guys how you can do that, or you can just use food, an inventory of food for. I mean, my levels aren't too great. If your levels are similar to mine, or even higher, you should get away with just 1 inventory of food. So that's pretty cool. So let's get there. I'm using the Trollheim teleport, and that will take me straight to Trollheim, which is near the God Wars dungeon. Now, if you haven't done this, you have to do the Death Plateau quest, and you have to run all the way from Burthorpe, all the way through there, following what you've done in the quest, and you'll end up here. So that's where we're going to be running now. So we're just going to be heading north. If you can use these agility shortcuts, which you probably can, I definitely recommend doing that. There's one over here as well. Now you do have to be careful with these thrower guys, the guys who throw rocks. But I'm just going to fast forward this bit, and we'll be at God Wars dungeon in a minute. So yeah, don't forget to pro range there. And you do need either 60 agility or 60 strength, I believe, to get into here. I have 60 strength, so I can do that. And bear in mind, your stats will start to go down, which is why we need our super restore. And your run energy will decrease by pretty much, yeah, it will just go to 0 as soon as you get into this cold area, which isn't too good. If you will need a rope to get in here, if you've been here for the first time. I mean, if this is your first time, then you will need a rope to get here. And just be careful with these big wolves as well. They can do a bit of damage. So once we're here, you're going to be heading straight north as quickly as you can to avoid all the Saradomin guys, because they will not do very nice things to you. You can wear a Saradomin item if you want to protect against that, and you will get hit a few times, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now you want to heal up to above 70 hit points. See, I got hit pretty bad there, but that's fine, because I'm going to be prayer flicking this task anyway. So you need to be above 70 hit points, and you're going to be jumping into this lake over here. Now notice, when you jump into this lake, your prayer points will decrease to 0. And that is why I'm going to bring a super restore, so I can heal back up, and I can prayer flick like 21 hit points, 21 prayer points I should say, is plenty enough to be prayer flicking with. I usually lose about 5 or 6 prayer points throughout the whole task, which is fine. So where you want to go in this Zamorak area is just head to the southeast, and there will be quite a few in this general area. See, we've got some guys killing some, and so here we do. Here we do. That doesn't even make sense. So I'm just going to put up here, make sure I'm my correct attack style, and just start killing these guys now. You can prayer fix them really easily. They attack at the same speed as you, so you just have to pretty much click. You just get the routine of it really easily. You'll figure it out. I mean, prayer flicking is something that not too many people do, and it's just so easy to pick up, and I'd highly recommend doing it because you don't really get hit at all. And also you just save food, and then if you end up needing to use food for any reason, then you've got an inventory to do so with, and you don't really need too much inventory room for drops, because as I said, you're going to be alching quite a few of them. So they're really easy to kill. You can either prayer fix them like I'm doing, or bring some food. If you want to bring some monkfish and shark or whatever, you can do that. But this is a pretty easy task once you know how to get there, and once you know what to do, and it shouldn't cause you guys too many problems. So it should be okay. And I think the rune items are pretty much the best thing that you can get. They drop a lot of steel chain bodies and stuff like that, but you do get, I average around 200 to 250k from drops per task, which is pretty good, and I also drop clue scrolls as well. But anyway guys, that's pretty much going to be my guide for Spiritual Warriors on Runescape. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, leave it a like rating, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you guys soon.